Hello friends, this is Bhatia from Sukhmani Immigration Services, Brampton, Canada. I'm a regulated and licensed Canadian immigration consultant. Today's video is very special, and it is special for everyone, whether you are a student, whether you are a work permit holder, whether you are a visitor, whether you are a refugee, whatever you are, it is special for you. What is this video all about? I'll share everything with you. Before that, I request you, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. We talk a lot about Canadian immigration, news, update, tips and tricks on this channel. And if you like the video, share it with your family and friends so that they can also benefit. So before going further, I just want to also tell you that at the end of the video, we do share with you bonus tips also. So please watch the video till the very end. So let's get started. Today's video is about 10 benefits. 10 benefits of what? 10 benefits of Canadian citizenship. What are the 10 benefits of Canadian citizenship? So if you keep searching the web, you will not find these benefits. At least not all the 10 benefits. So let's see what are the 10 benefits of Canadian citizenship. Before even going to the benefits, I just want to tell you, just like reaching one God, there are many religions. You can follow any of the religion and reach to that one God. Similarly, there are many ways of getting a Canadian citizenship. So let's look at some of the routes. The first route, of course, is students. So students come here to Canada to study. They study for a period of time, then they get their postgraduate work permit, then they get their work permit converted to PR, they apply under some PR program and then they get PR card and then finally they get the citizenship. So sometimes people come as visitors, and when they come as visitors, they get their visitor visa converted to a work permit, and once they get it converted, they work for a while and then they move on to the PR status. They apply in some PR program. And eventually they get Canadian citizenship. So that's another way. Now the way number third is some people come directly as a PR. So they come as a express entry, or they come under PNP programs, or they come under pilot programs, and they come as a PR card holder and they stay here in Canada and then eventually get Canadian citizenship. And some people come here and on a work permit. Not some, people sometimes just think when I say work permit, they say LMIA. LMIA work permit is only one type of work permit. There are so many work permits. Some people know, and trust me, some people even don't know about it. So there are many ways of getting work permit, but I'm not telling the ways to get the work permit here. I am telling you that the various ways of getting Canadian citizenship. So people come here on work permit, then they apply for PR, and then later on they get the Canadian citizenship. Similarly, even under refugee category. So this is category which people use and misuse a lot. So anyway, I'm not talking about refugee use or misuse category here, but I'm just talking that refugee also later on get the Canadian passport. So this is just like there are many religions to reach to one God, there are many ways to get Canadian passport. Now, it's always a human tendency. What is the benefit? We always look for the benefit. What is the benefit if I get a Canadian citizenship? So I am not going to tell you one, I am not going to tell you two, I am going to tell you 10 benefits plus the bonus. So watch the video till very end. So 10 benefits, I'm starting with the very first one, and this is the most important benefit in my view. So you can vote. Now people think, so what? Why should I vote? When you vote, you are using your constitutional right. So by voting, you can elect your representative. You can call them in power. You can go and discuss with them your problems, and they find solution for you. So they work for you. So, as a Canadian citizen, you have a right to vote. There are three types of elections which happen in Canada. So, there is a federal election, there is a provincial election, and then there is a municipal election. Municipal, when we call it as a city election. So, I live in Brampton. So, here the Brampton city elections happen. So, we elect councillors, we elect school trust board members, and then we also elect our honorable, like we have Honorable Patrick Brown, our mayor here in Canada, so in Brampton. So that way we elect mayor, councillors, and school trustee board. So that's how we talk about the city elections. So now you can it has a major benefit that it's also a responsibility of a citizen. So you can bring those people into power which you think will work for you and will fight for your rights and will have your say in the parliament. So that is one of the important right you have, right to vote, which you get after being a Canadian citizen. So that way you can make the society even better, and voting is such an important right. Whichever country you are in Canada, you are in India, Pakistan, US, or wherever you are, voting can bring people into power and voting can take people out of power. So it is very, very important to vote, and you get that right as a Canadian citizen. So first thing. Now, second benefit, you can not only vote if you think you don't have a good representative and you think yourself as a good representative and you think you can help people, so you can also run in the elections, right? So as a Canadian citizen, you can run for office, which means that you can run in the provincial elections, municipal elections, and federal elections. And if you decide to run for office, you can run as an independent candidate, or you can run by joining a political party. So there are 5 parties right now which are major political parties, of which Liberal, which is the current ruling party in Canada. So Liberal Party, then we have NDP, which is New Democratic Party, then we have Bloc Cubicans, then we have Conservative Party, and the last one is Green Party of Canada. So these are the 5 major parties. You can either run for the office as an independent candidate, or you can join any of the political parties, major political parties. So this is benefit number 2. Now benefit number 3, you can travel easily. What is that travel easily means? That doesn't mean that somebody will carry your bags when you travel. It doesn't mean your bags will become light. What does travel easily means? Travel easily means because Canadian passport is ranked one of the best passports in the world. So being the best passport, you can travel to more than 185 countries without visa or visa on arrival. You do not need visa to travel US. I do that many times, right? I just go and drive to New York, drive to Michigan, drive to Chicago. I do that many times. Just simply, take my passport, show my passport at the Canadian border, and just simply drive by. That's it. So easy, right? If you have to go to UK, you don't have to pay all these visa fees and you don't have to bother. Just go to UK. That's it. So many European countries, many other countries, you have visa-free entry. So that's also one of the big benefits. You don't have the hassle of getting a visa. You don't have to pay the visa fee. You don't have to go through that process. So that is definitely a big benefit. You can travel easily with the help of a Canadian passport. And you do not have the restrictions. Many times, I don't want to say anything particularly, but many countries, nationalities are targeted when they travel by air, and then they have to go through the multiple security checks. But as a Canadian citizen, you don't have those restrictions, you don't get into those trouble. And similarly, when you come back to Canada, when you re-enter Canada, right, it's very easy. You can just show your passport, come back to Canada. That's it, right? It becomes easier for you to re-enter Canada. So travel easily, number 3 benefit. Number 4 benefit is there are certain jobs in Canada which are reserved for Canadian citizens. Due to security issues, Canadian citizens can only do that job. You need level 2 clearance, level 3 clearance, and in that case, you need to have a Canadian citizen. So those jobs are usually federal jobs and they are really good paying jobs with a lot of perks, but only Canadian citizens can do that job. So if you are a Canadian citizen, and then you can apply for these good paying jobs, but you need to have a Canadian citizenship with you. That's also another benefit. Number 5. Now let's look at the number 5. Many people I've seen, they keep renewing their PR card due to some reason or another. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, they keep renewing their PR card and they live under kind of fear. Oh, I have to stay 2 years in Canada in 5 years. There is a requirement as a PR card holder. You need to have 730 days, right? That requirement is there. But if you are a Canadian citizen, you can live free anywhere. You can go and stay in India for 6 months, year. You can go and stay in US. Nobody will question you, right? Because as a Canadian citizen, you are free to stay anywhere. You are free to live anywhere. You don't have to count the days, right? But as compared to a PR card holder who has to count the days, they are always scared that if they do not meet the requirement of 730 days in any 5-year period, they will lose their PR status. So that fear is not there. Canadian citizenship cannot be taken easily. You cannot take away once you got a Canadian citizenship, it cannot be taken away easily. There are instances where the Canadian citizenship was taken, but those are called special cases. And those happen only if you have got the Canadian citizenship with false representation, fraud, or you have concealed any kind of material facts. Those are the cases. Otherwise, normal circumstances, you got a Canadian citizenship, it won't be taken off. So you do not have any fear of losing your status. So that was number 5. Coming to number 6. So number 6 is benefits of dual citizenship. So Canada permits dual citizenship, but it is dependent upon your home country. So Canada permits to have, you can become a Canadian citizen and you can still retain your home country citizenship if your home country permits, and you can have that benefit. I'll take an example here. For example, if you are an Indian citizen and eventually you come here in Canada and eventually you become a Canadian citizen. So first thing you have to do after becoming a Canadian citizen, you immediately have to surrender. You have to surrender your Indian passport. So if you do not surrender your Indian passport after becoming a Canadian citizen, it is a crime. Because under Indian laws, you cannot hold 2 nationalities. So if you are an Indian citizen, you have to surrender your Indian passport. There is a process. You can reach out to our office if you do not know what to do. So we can get you that also. But there is a process to surrender your Indian passport. There is a fee by the Indian government, and then you have to do the entire process, get a surrender certificate, right? That is what you get at the end of this. So if you hold Canadian citizenship, Canadian passport, you cannot hold Indian passport. But in case of Pakistan allows dual citizenship. So if you hold a Pakistan passport, Pakistan actually allows dual citizenship not for all countries, but certain countries. And Canada is one of those certain countries. So if you hold a Pakistani passport, you can still keep Canadian passport. So you can keep both the passport together. That's a benefit, right? But again, as I said, it depends. The benefit of dual citizenship depends upon home country, not on Canada. Canada allows you to have dual citizenship. So I have friends, right, who are here with me in Canada, and they have relatives like brothers or sisters in the US. So their brothers and sisters filed their green card, and eventually, they got the US green card. So now, today, they have a US passport as well as Canadian passport. So they can keep both the passports. US passport as well as Canadian passport without the need to surrender Canadian passport. So that's the beauty. Now, let us look at the benefit number 7. You cannot be deported. You cannot be deported. Here the clause is, if you are not a dual citizen. If you are not a dual citizen, you are out of risk of being deported. So what happens when you get deported? So when you get deported, Canadian authorities ask you to leave Canada and you will be sent to your country of origin or home country. But if I don't have a home country, if my home is Canada, where will you deport me now? Right? So I have just a Canadian passport. That's it. I don't have any dual nationality. I don't have any dual citizenship. So then the risk of getting deported is out. Now, risk of deportation particularly happens when you are a student, when you are a work permit holder, visitor, or you are even a PR card holder. So sometimes, like drink and drive, this is a big crime and people take it lightly. And you know what, if you get into a trouble, then nothing can help. Then you have to do only one thing: pack up your bag and go back to the home country. But this thing is not applicable in case when you are a Canadian citizen. So people who get deported for committing crimes like immigration rules, illegally obtaining any status, or if you are a security threat to Canada, so you will be deported, right? But if you are a Canadian citizen and you do not hold any other nationality or any other citizenship, which is dual citizenship, you are out of the risk of being deported. Number 8, your children will be Canadian automatically. If you are a Canadian citizen, your children will be automatically Canadian. I have gone through and I can really understand the hard work and effort which it requires to get the Canadian citizenship. Do you want your kids to go through the same problem? No? Yes. Then if that is the answer, is that you do not want that, then you better get your Canadian citizenship. And if you get your Canadian citizenship, your kids will automatically be Canadian citizen. And if they are born on the Canadian soil, they will be automatically Canadian citizen. And also, as I said, they don't have to go through any of those hassles. Sometimes if the kids are born even outside of Canada to Canadian parents, you will be still Canadian. There is a tool by Government of Canada which is called as Am I a Canadian? Am I a Canadian? I will share that link with you. So, if you are a Canadian born to Canadian parents but not born in Canada, still you are a Canadian and you can apply for a Canadian passport. So that is the beauty. Now, number 9, you do not have to renew your PR card. So, of course, when you get a Canadian passport, you have to renew your passport. But the frequency is different. So, PR card you have to renew after every 5 years. Whereas, right, if we talk about the Canadian passport, if you are under the age of 16, then your passport is only for 5 years. But if you are 16 and above, you can get a 10-year passport or 5-year, depending upon how much fees you pay. So like in my case, I have a 10-year Canadian passport, right? So we just got it renewed, right, a few years back. So now it is again valid for another 10 years. So we don't have to worry about, renewing it so frequently. That is the benefit of you don't have to renew the PR card. Number 10. So this point is very, very important, particularly in the recent times. The times have changed. So when you are a Canadian passport holder, when you are having a Canadian citizenship, you get support from Canadian consulate. Recently, there was a lot of news when Indian government helped a lot of Indians who were studying in Ukraine because they were Indian passport holders, and it is the responsibility and duty of the government to help their citizens. So they help their citizens to get out of Ukraine. Similarly, Canadian government helped Canadian citizens to get out of that place. So if you are a Canadian passport holder, you can get support from Canadian consulate. That is very, very important. And a few situations you can get the support from Canadian consulate could be like this. If you lose a passport, suppose your passport is lost or stolen in some country, right? So you can go to the Canadian consulate and ask for the help, and they will help you. You have any kind of trouble outside in foreign country, you can go to that consulate and ask for the help. And then if someone is missing, right, in your family, and you can still go and ask that he is a Canadian citizen, I need your help. So they can help you out, and you can help in contacting your family in Canada, right? If you want that you are not able to reach to your family back home in Canada, so they can help you to connect with the family in Canada, right? They can also help you in financial support in emergency, right? They can, and last point is very, very important, because in the recent year, as I said, in situations like war, in natural calamities, or in COVID, right? In COVID, many times it happened that Canadian government used special aeroplanes to bring back the Canadians who were stuck in different countries. Due to COVID, the flights were not operating, but for Canadian citizens who are Canadian citizens, passport holder, they operated special flights and brought back the Canadian citizens here in Canada. So these are the 10 benefits of having a Canadian citizenship. Now it's a turn for bonus. So let's start with the bonus point. So bonus, for me at least, I don't know about everyone, but for me at least, it is a matter of pride to hold a Canadian passport, and I really cherish that. So I treat it as reward for my hard work. It's not easy. So getting a Canadian passport, it's a reward for me for my hard work. And lastly, I remember an ad when I was a school kid. There used to be an ad coming from Onida TV, which is Neighbors Envy, Owner's Pride. So similarly, your passport is sometime envy to your friends and families. You can show them and have a pride in that. So this is the bonus tip. For any other Canadian visa or immigration matter, you can reach out to our office. Our office is located in Brampton, and email IDs and phone numbers are shared with you. Once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. We talk a lot about Canadian immigration on this channel. Once again, thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks.